Testing, testing. We look like we're sounding good. Boy. Look like we're sounding good. Boy. Okay. Let's. There we go. There we go. Yo! He's here for the Logan Paul drama. Okay. Well, so am I. Not clickbait. Absolutely not. Turns out this YouTuber is just milking the views, but we're here for it. But you're not only here for the drama, right? You're here to hang out. So you better not leave by the time I finish with the drama. You are a drama addict, and so am I. Listen, we love the drama, but we don't like getting into drama. Dude, it is actually cold, bro. Right, man. Right. It's cold. We like this one better anyways. We like this one better anyways. 9:55 to be exact, but I've had a long day. Pulled a 12 hour. Oof, 12 hours, bro. Tell me. Did you tell me where you worked? Sleepo, what's good? I was trying to see that 5-game move that I did. I showed you guys yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blundered so hard. You chilling at work, dude? I love that for you. I don't think. You did 12 hours of that? Must be a huge insurance company. Sleepo, what are you doing at work? What are you supposed to be doing? Or is it slow? Dude, like I'm playing Kingdom Hearts on the Switch. And I really don't want to play on the Switch anymore for Kingdom Hearts because it's just so tedious. And the controls are not that great. Nice. Nice, we love that. Sleepo, you weren't here yesterday, but I announced that I'm going to be back on Gameology. They invited me back. Did you find me through Gameology? I forgot. Or did you find me through my parkour account or through YouTube itself? Because the algorithm is liking me for some reason? Not for some reason. It better like me. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much. Get help when your coworkers help you. Well, don't throw your back out, bro. You found me through the first Logan Paul vid? Looks like the algorithm is doing its thing. Wow. Looks like Logan Paul's helping me out with the names. Well, we didn't clickbait. Really? Well, I'm glad I earned a sub from you, Sleepo. And I'm glad I can entertain you during your work. The algorithm is strong, my friends. Okay, so this is for real, not clickbait. This is it right here. Logan Paul getting sued for crypto. I really don't like. I'm not the biggest fan of this YouTuber's energy because I feel like he feeds on drama too much. But, like, I'm not here to feed on the drama as much either, but, like, it's just interesting. But he's just, like, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Well, let's start from the very beginning. He's just going to be, like, in your face kind of thing. I don't know. You tell me. You've seen this guy, I'm assuming.
So you may have thought after Logan Paul releases 3-step plan to refund and help CryptoZoo victims that this would all be over, blow over, and everything would be okay. Yeah, it's absolutely not. Remember how Logan Paul's initial response to CoffeeZilla was to bring the legal
maybe just not a fan of his voice. I don't know.
Hammer down.
He has over 1 million subscribers. I mean, he's doing a great job. It's just, you know.
I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it. If not, we're gonna handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
Well, it seems that Logan Paul will be getting a taste of his own medicine, as CryptoZoo
you guys can hear it, right?
Represented by attorney Tom are essentially suing Logan Paul and CryptoZoo. A video uploaded by attorney Tom titled "I'm suing Logan Paul" in brackets.
Like, it's really British. Like nothing wrong with that, but it's just really British.
Arbitration. We're going to go through this video, look at how he's going to sue Logan Paul, the allegations, great points as to why Logan Paul's 3-step plan was actually a farce, and Logan Paul again proving that he's an asshole through new...
That he's an asshole.
Discord messages. Stay tuned because we have a lot to talk about. And if you're unfamiliar with Attorney Tom, he is an actual attorney. His YouTube bio reads catastrophic personal injury attorney, trial lawyer, wannabe YouTuber, Attorney Tommy John Kirker, attorney at the
Kirker. His name is Tommy John Kirker. Kirker? We'll skip. We don't need to see this part. Okay.
Action against CryptoZoo Incorporated, Logan Paul, Daniel Strobel, Jeff Levin, Eddie Ibanez, and Jake Greenbaum.
And what allegations they're actually putting forward against Logan Paul and CryptoZoo. So this is what they're actually going to go after Logan Paul.
Fraud, express breach of contract, implied breach of contract, unjust enrichment, violation of the Delaware's prohibited trade practices, negligence, fraudulent misinterpretation, conspiracy to commit fraud. Conspiracy to commit fraud? Is that an actual allegation? Like, why would that be an actual
Paul for fraud, express breach of contract, implied breach of contract, unjust enrichment, violation of Delaware's prohibited trade practices, negligent, fraudulent misrepresentation, and conspiracy to commit fraud.
Like when you think like it's a conspiracy to commit fraud, I guess maybe I'm understanding it differently, where it's like people are thinking that he is conspiring to commit fraud, or because an allegation is like pointing fingers in a way without proof. Like you are right. Like, hey Siri, define allegation. It gave me the wrong definition. It said allegation with an I. Hey Siri, define allegations. It's a claim. That's the word. Claim. An unproven fact. Yeah. Like, okay.
So a lot of allegations going to be thrown Logan Paul's way. And a great thing about Attorney Tom's video is he explains everything for people like me and you who don't really understand legal issues that well. So first of all, he talks about CryptoZoo's clauses in their TOS, how any claim can only go through arbitration.
CryptoZoo terms and conditions have two major clauses that affect a victim's ability to pursue legal action. The first is an arbitration clause. The second is a class action waiver. For anybody who doesn't know, forced arbitration is a provision in certain contracts that requires disputes between the parties to be resolved through arbitration rather than the court system. This means that if a dispute arises, the parties must work with a neutral third party, the arbitrator, to come to a
Wow, that's gross.
resolution, rather than going to court and having a judge or jury decide the case.
And the main thing in CryptoZoo's TOS is that they're emphasizing that you have to do it individually and there's no consolidated action, meaning that every case has to be individually submitted by each individual.
CryptoZoo's terms and conditions for residents of the United States and other jurisdictions that enforce binding arbitration. You and CryptoZoo agree that any dispute, claim, or controversy between you and CryptoZoo arising in connection with or relating in any way to these terms or to your relationship with CryptoZoo as a user of the service will be determined by mandatory binding individual arbitration. And further down below, we get some more relevant information as well.
Wait, where did he get this? Right? Like it's, yeah, I mean, I have enough subscriptions, like YouTube ads, like I'll be fine because you can still skip them.
Other than the court system. This means that if a dispute
action, meaning that every case has to be individually submitted.
But you see how like he's yelling at you? Like, I don't like... He's yelling at you this whole time.
By each individual.
CryptoZoo's terms and conditions for residents of the United
Oh, CryptoZoo's terms and conditions. Okay, that's what it is.
States and other jurisdictions that enforce binding arbitration, you and CryptoZoo agree that any dispute, claim, or controversy between you and CryptoZoo arising in connection with or relating in any way to these terms or to your relationship with CryptoZoo as a user of the service will be determined by mandatory binding individual arbitration. And further down below, we get some more relevant information as well. Again, they are really emphasizing this individual capacity. There will be no consolidated action.
The good thing about Attorney Tom is that he's representing not just people who lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, he's representing people who lost even $100.
At the time of releasing this video, my team and I currently represent victims from all over the world, ranging from consumers who lost a couple $100s to over $100,000.
Which is great, because $100 to someone could feel like $100,000, you know? It could be a lot of fucking money to them. So the fact that he's going out his way to represent all of these people is great. And they've already officially filed their first arbitration action against Logan Paul.
That's insane. Logan Paul's gonna eat so much shit.
CryptoZoo and all of Logan Paul's merry men.
Additionally, we have officially filed our first arbitration action, and we anticipate many more arbitrations will be opened up in the near future.
However, like we've talked about, the clauses in their TOS might mean that they have to do all of it individually, person by person.
Because these clauses are in place, there is a situation in which we may have to go to Delaware and arbitrate case after case after case after case after case after case.
I mean, you're literally putting that upon yourself to do that, and you're literally putting this out in the public eye. So yeah,
so on, and that is something we are prepared to do.
Fair play.
Okay.
He says he's prepared to do it. I absolutely rate the fucking shit out of that. My man wants to go after Logan Paul and get them victims compensated. That's what we like to hear. So that's the first part of this video, talking about how he's going to represent his clients and what he's going to do. The next part of his video I found particularly very interesting. So remember, Logan Paul released his 3-step plan to make everyone whole with CryptoZoo.
So I'd like to announce my 3-step plan moving forward. Step 1, Jeff and I are going to burn our Zoo tokens so we have no financial upside in the game and it will add value to holder tokens. Step 2, we want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed.
Watching what he said, I took it very surface level. I assumed
I did take it. That, I mean, that's what I was thinking too, right? Because the first one's like, we're gonna burn everything. It's like, dude, even if you burn everything, you're still gonna make money. Why? Because it's CryptoZoo by Logan Paul. So whatever money people put in, you are still part shareholder of this crypto. So that was really stupid.
when Logan Paul said he's going to refund people their ETH and stuff, that people were getting their money back. However, I was very much wrong in thinking that. Attorney Tom has very much opened my eyes to this 3-step plan being a pile of shit.
Yeah.
Something I mentioned in my last Logan Paul video, Attorney Tom also picked up on, was that people with base eggs and base animals can claim a refund. But what about the people with Zoo tokens? Zoo token, people invested thousands and thousands into as well. Why can't they also get a refund?
First is the refund only accounts for people who have base NFTs and base animals. It says nothing about individuals who have Zoo token or hybrid animals, and that's really important because there are people who lost thousands, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of dollars investing in the Zoo token. And according to Logan Paul, they are not entitled to any sort of refund.
And Attorney Tom on the same level there. Maybe I should also be an attorney. My foul mouth would never allow me in a courtroom. This is Attorney Tom's second criticism of Logan Paul's 3-step plan to compensate CryptoZoo victims.
Second issue that I want to take note of is there are a lot of people who had the Zoo NFTs, the eggs, that then sold because the product was a complete bust. There is no form of compensation for them laid out in Logan Paul's 3-part plan.
This is something I can't believe I didn't think about this in my last video. Of course, so many people who got fucked over by Logan Paul have sold. They sold ages ago. That was the smart thing to do. Get out and get some of your money back. Logan has provided zero plan to help anyone else who has been screwed over by him and his people. It's only people who are either couldn't be bothered because it was worth nothing, so just left it to die in their wallet, or idiots who kept it thinking Logan Paul was actually going to redeem himself. Either way, Logan Paul was only covering a small percentage of people who have actually been affected by his scam. And his last and final criticism is really the cherry on top on how this whole 3-step plan is a load of bullshit. And I can see why Logan didn't upload this to YouTube and hid and uploaded it to Twitter.
And the last thing I want to take note of
even Twitter
is the
still got over
refund is
1 million
not
views.
equivalent to what they bought their eggs for. At the time the CryptoZoo mint went public, 0.1 ETH was worth roughly
$350.
give or take. Now, 0.1 ETH is worth $150.
In my head, in my last video, I took 0.1 ETH, getting 0.1 ETH back as a refund. It just clicked in my head like that. But of course, Ethereum was worth way more when CryptoZoo started minting. A shit ton more. Where 0.1 ETH is now worth $150. When they minted CryptoZoo eggs, it was $350. So Logan
insane.
Paul is essentially refunding people a fuck ton less. Put $1.3 million aside, which a Logan Paul is nothing, as a PR stunt to give the perception that he's actually giving a refund, when in reality, he's not. So Attorney Tom isn't happy.
See, there's two things that I'm trying to understand here, right? Is Logan Paul a very bad guy, right? Who wants to steal money from people around the world, right? Like does he want to do that to himself? Does he want to ruin his reputation and screw his life for this crypto game, right? Did he purposely want to be like, you know, even he said this in Impulsive, and again, like, I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate is what they say, right? It's like, does he really, are they really in a room trying to come up with a plan to steal people's money? Probably not. Is he making stupid ass decisions to try to mitigate the situation and to lessen the damage and try to make himself look like he's doing a good job? Yeah, he probably is. His team, bunch of stupid ass people who probably does not want the best for him. They want the best for themselves. I really don't think they are looking after Logan Paul like they should. Logan Paul also believes in his team way too much. And I don't know why he hasn't fired them yet, because he said, yo, I'm going to rely on my team. And I just don't know what he's doing anymore now. Because, like, that 3-step plan on Twitter, it's like, that was, like, bullshit, to be honest. Like, it didn't even mitigate any damages that people have experienced investing in the CryptoZoo. So I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's just made bad decisions. He's clearly not the smartest guy. And he just needs a new team. Probably people that actually care for him. Because, like I said, I don't think his team cares for him at all. Everyone can talk shit about Logan Paul, but in reality, I really don't think he's doing it on purpose. Yeah, like he's arrogant. He's egotistical. He's conceited. He definitely thinks he's above the law. He definitely thinks himself above people. I mean, look at the interviews that he's done with George and Mike. Like, you can see the respect level between George and Mike. And I've seen videos where, like, George, I don't know if you've seen the Impulsive podcast, but, like, George is just always kicked to the side. And you know what? There's a full video on it. But let's finish this first.
He says that this doesn't even come close to compensating CryptoZoo victims in the right way.
So to me, this offer by Logan Paul doesn't come close to making things right.
I completely agree. He has switched my opinion. I mean, I didn't say Logan's plan was amazing, but I gave credit that there was a plan and it seemed decent. I do not think that anymore at all. He's not refunding the majority of people who got affected because they don't own any of your shit project. And the refund you are giving is a shit ton less than you should actually be giving because Ethereum was worth way more when you minted. If any of you gave Logan Paul too much credit for his 3-step plan, I don't blame you. It was easy to get drawn into it. It sounded good, which is all Logan wanted. That's all he needs people to see and think, is that he actually made things right. He doesn't want to lose out on a WWE deal. He doesn't want to be ousted out of Prime and all these big businesses he's got going. $1.3 million to him to look like he's doing the right thing is fucking nothing. All he wanted to do was get people off his back. Attorney Tom then ends the video by showing legal papers and action they are taking against CryptoZoo and Logan Paul. I'm guessing this is
nuts.
Arbitration has already been...
This is nuts, and the fact that they already typed this out... Damn. To have your own practice and just do whatever the fuck you want, to like sue whoever the fuck you want, and then to help whoever the fuck they want? 3 times. FFF. To help the people? Bro. Good for them.
Been filed. His video is linked in the description. If you want to go through and read all the details, I recommend you do that if you're that interested. But what I found interesting from the legal documents is some very interesting screen cap of Logan Paul talking to the CryptoZoo Discord that really pissed me off. First of all, a screen cap.
It's funny because like anything that Logan Paul puts in the Discord definitely can be screenshotted and used against him. Against him, bro.
Confirming that the people who
happened to people who said everything at loss when isn't just current owners. What?
Sold already and already got fucked over by Logan would not.
Wow. Wow.
Not get any compensation at all. Logan Paul says just owners will be eligible for the 3-step plan. Some moron then replied to this by saying, well, if you sell, you lose. Common investing knowledge. In which Logan puts an arrow pointing to it, agreeing with that sentiment. Like an absolute arsehole. No, Logan, they sold because your shitty little project didn't work. Your product didn't work. You didn't deliver on anything. It isn't common investing knowledge. They jumped ship because you fucked up. Therefore, you should be compensating them too. The blockchain.
Agreed. 100%. 100%. I agree with that.
Tracks every wallet that's interacted and minted.
If it was a working game and you lost money, that's one thing. But if the game never worked, never started, and the game even never released, enough said.
CryptoZoo, eggs, you could make this right, but you chose not to. Another screenshot in the Discord was Logan saying, please do not put any more money into CryptoZoo. Someone replied, he's probably saying, I'm sick of you guys blaming your investment decisions on me. So I'm putting it in writing. Don't buy anymore. But that's just my guess. In which Logan Paul, again, like a fucking idiot.
You guys blaming your investment decisions on me, so...
Agreed. And then put another message directly saying, I will no longer be the scapegoat for anyone's financial decisions.
My God. See, dude, see, you're being dumb. You're being freaking dumb. I'm getting my cat. Come here. Yeah. There you you go. Hello, kitty cat. But yeah, dude, Logan Paul's being dumb.
Oh my god, shut up, you moron. You are the one pushing and selling CryptoZoo as this amazing investment, game where everyone can make money. Invest in my game, come on guys. You didn't deliver on any of that. And now you're the scapegoat. Get your head out of your ass. You are to blame, Logan. You're not a scapegoat for people's investing and financial decisions. You pushed it to them, you advertised it, you wanted their money, you told them you'll give them something, and you didn't. You're not a scapegoat, you're a fucking moron.
You're
These
a fraud.
screenshots just prove to me
You're
Logan's
a fraud.
mentality. This, coupled with the bullshit 3-step plan, I hope you at home can see right through Logan's bullshit. Leave a like on the video if you do right now.
Dude, he's literally yelling at me. Leave a like. Leave a like, right? Can you guys leave a like on my video? I'm not yelling at you. You can like my video if you want. You don't have to, but, you know, it'd be much appreciated. Much appreciated. And then everyone who's watching, can you guys, like, say something? Type something? Say hello? Anyway, so we were also talking about, you feel obligated to, right? I mean, you're obligated to leave a like here. What's up, Peter? Thank you for saying something. See, Matt comes through. Hey, see? See? There it is. I just want to know who's watching. I just want to know. Anyway, so another thing that I've looked into with Logan Paul is that, you know, we talked about it, right? Like, he's seen, I'm going to say seen, as, like I said before, egotistical, conceited, I said a third one. Egotistical, conceited, selfish, mean, entitled. What's up, Keto? Entitled. I can go on. And so there's this video. Actually, he did really well. Really well for... Are you good? He did really well explaining, like, how George... You guys know George from Impulsive, right? Do you guys... I mean, listen. I don't watch Impulsive. I just got to know the people in Impulsive after watching a... Dude, you're drooling. And now my hand will stink. After watching the CoffeeZilla allegations and whatnot. So... Let me just type here, Third Wheel George. Impulsive. Because there was this allegation. Narcissist? Yeah, that's a good one. We can add words. There was this video that talked about George being... Oh, he reached 11K. Good for him. He literally... No, listen, guys. This guy right here... Hold on, let me change it. So this guy, Tell Us More, I think he was literally at probably 3,000 subscribers. And look at that. He has 11K now, which is really cool. No, don't dip. Keto, for once, can you not work, dude? But yeah, so he did a really good video on this, and he released it at a really good time. But we'll watch it again.
The best way to experience something in life is
really
for
good.
yourself. And Firestone
when
tires
I'm talking,
were built
is my
for
voice
getting
still
out
louder
there.
than the video?
Try
The way that George was able to keep composed while Logan bashed his beliefs shows just how emotionally intelligent he really is. It was painful watching Logan be so incredibly insensitive and irresponsible after thinking he's genuinely matured in any facet. Props to Mike for mediating this mess and George for staying composed. These were just a couple of the top comments on December 13th's episode of Impulsive. We saw a side to Logan Paul that just wasn't pretty, and one which we didn't expect given how much he appears to have matured over recent years. The way he spoke to George was brutal.
Yo, guys. Question. When was the Japan incident? We can look that up, actually. It's so funny how the apology 2018. Wow. 2018. Shit. You're not getting on. That's insane. No, 2018. I know. It was. I thought it was earlier. It has to be earlier. Maybe let's try looking it up again. 5 years ago. 2018.
In continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. So what we came across that day in the woods was obviously unplanned.
January 3rd, by the way.
The reactions you saw on tape were raw, they
January
were
4th.
unfiltered. None of us knew how to react or how to feel. I should have depression.
And I kind
to
of
be
like
the
re-looked it
intent.
up, but he's just like, wow, 2018.
And it seems like things just
wild.
keep getting worse and worse for George on the podcast. With Logan being the main host and star of the show, the guests that come on typically look in his direction throughout, rarely engaging with George as they speak. This makes Mike's job easier because by default, some of the attention is also on him, but it causes problems for George. There are some episodes where he hardly says anything, almost biding his time to land a good joke, and when he shoots, it almost feels out of place because he's been quiet for so long.
Listen, man.
To be honest, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now. I think George is the oddball, and not in a mean way. It's just like he doesn't see the same point of view in values as Mike and Logan. Now, %. Peter, like you haven't missed much. There was just some big news. You can actually watch my videos that I posted about it if you would like, and then come back. They're not long. You can skip through it if you want. But with Mike and from the beginning, like I didn't feel like good vibes from Mike, and I've heard that he's gotten better. Like he's bettered himself and things like that, and has become like more of a better, which is fine. Like you there's always second chance with people, but with George, it's just from what I've observed, oddball. Like listen to this.
I read the Bible a lot when they talk about David and Goliath. I've never seen a giant, and so like I'm a little taken.
You've been sitting over here for 30 minutes, and that's all you can freaking say. Fucking kidding me?
No, he's not gonna say
That's the
shit.
question. Gee.
Like, that's wild, dude. Like, why? I'm really close to switching to YouTube Premium though. Pretty close.
This is made worse by the fact that Logan doesn't show him the same level of respect he shows Mike. So when George
And he doesn't.
does speak, he's often cut off by Logan, who wants to say something first.
Explain that how you're gonna make money drinking water.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Professionally, it's like.
Before you go, George, I just want to say.
Man, that's different.
Even I'm sorry to interrupt, George.
Just guy in the world.
George, can you just don't die on this hill? Just let the men talk.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Like.
The setup of the podcast.
Also, good job for this editor because he literally did so much pulling from podcasts. Don't let YouTube win. YouTube's winning. I mean, look, I'm streaming on their platform. Once I monetize on this channel, once I monetize on this channel, I'll be premium. Bet. But yeah, this guy did really well investigating an impulsive podcast and pulling snippets of George and Logan like having this situation.
just isn't right for George, and from one look at a similar popular podcast, you can see why. The Flagrant podcast is hosted by Andrew Schultz, and while they normally have 4 hosts, there are times where they have 3, and the way they do it works much better. Andrew sits on his own on one side of the guest, and the other 2 supporting hosts sit on the other side. This creates a more balanced dynamic where Schultz can lead the conversation, but the other 2 hosts can still command attention because they have the numbers advantage. In the case of Impulsive, if Logan sat on his own and Mike sat with George, they'd be able to create a similar setup. The problem is, Mike's standard spot is next to Logan, and it's clear that he's Logan's right
100%. Clear as day.
hand man, so it doesn't seem likely that they'll change the arrangements. But if they did, it would take the pressure off George to say something funny to stay involved. Where things took a turn for the worst was during an episode in November 2022 with Bobby Lee, a stand-up comedian who's known for his brutal sense of humor. The podcast started off well and everyone was getting along, but as it went on, Bobby slowly started facing away from George more and more. About an hour in, Mike acknowledged this, saying that he knows George's seat is a tough one to sit in if you want to ask questions, so he passed it over to him. But this is where George made a big mistake that set the wheels in motion for what came next.
For 2 years of my life recently was the hardest years of my life. I gained 40 pounds of weight. Honestly, if I was not Christian, I'd probably be suicidal. And it was really, really bad. I never told anybody about it. I would just...
Yeah, and he's also like he's like an innocent man who, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, I'm like this too sometimes. What's the word, man? What's the word? And like he has this innocence in him, and he doesn't probably get context clues, but is true to his word. If that makes sense. I don't know how old he is, to be honest. Hey Siri, how old is George from Impulsive? Not shares. Like, Sam, are you drooling on my hand? Are you drooling on my hand, dude? Ugh. Ugh. Oh, he's 30. January 3rd, 1993. Oh, how about that? Yeah, he's 30, but he still has this innocence.
Just couldn't understand why.
Like, he's gonna be dissed so hard right now. Just watch.
I got everything that I've ever prayed for, but yet I was so unbelievably depressed.
This was maybe the most George had ever opened up on the podcast, but he really chose the wrong time and audience. Bobby took this as an opportunity to pounce, and you could see from that point on, George was completely deflated.
It was just a long monologue.
He was just waiting.
It was
like...
And let me just say something. I loved what you were saying. It was just very long. Yeah, we just need writers to edit that down.
He tried to play...
Like, do you see that? Do you see? Like, he's done. Like, he's out. And then this guy? Jeez. Like, I don't even know.
Played off by roasting Bobby back, but he fell flat on his face.
Usually when I do my comedy, I don't have writers in the room. I actually write my own stuff.
Okay, I can tell.
But
maybe you should get a writer. But my point is...
Oh, fuck, George.
Probably one of my favorite episodes. The first half, the chemistry was great. Second half, poor George got a bit awkward, but Bobby riffing on the guys honestly had me laughing start to finish. I feel bad for George, as I understand what it's like to talk about deep issues that are personal and meaningful, but there is a time...
Dude, also kudos to, like, people to comment on platforms like this. Like, people also open up in the comment section. And it's kind of cool because, like, you know, you're sharing, like, real emotion experience. Dude, Sam is, like, waiting to get on my desk. If only I can show you. Like, she's waiting. Like, she has one paw on my desk. She's ready, dude. She's ready. Like, she needs to get on this desk. She's like trying to wait for the perfect moment, resting her head on here. She doesn't even want to be on camera. You know you want to be on camera. You can't get on this desk, though. That's my desk. Yeah. But, good try. Good try. Look at that. You see that paw? She's my baby. She's my sweetheart. But, yeah, she thinks she has authority. Yeah. She will not be getting on this desk. Oops. Let's see. Oh, you see that? You think you got me? Huh? Huh? Let's see. There we go. Can't go on this desk. She thought she could. You thought you could, son. You thought you could. You thought you could. Okay, back to this.
Time and a place for it, and a combo with a comedian who uses his trauma for brutal comedy isn't really the time or place to get upset over the conversation not staying on a personal heavy subject. What was interesting to see was the way Mike handled the situation compared to Logan. Mike showed compassion for George and tried to help him out, but Logan was making fun of him. You could easily argue that Logan's job is to look after his guest and keep the podcast moving.
Yes. All yes, because it's impulsive, right? He cares about his guest, and George is still looking like look how he's facing, dude.
Not indulge George's emotions, and that's true. But while that argument could stand,
And George is a pushover too. And look, he again, he's out of it. He's not even looking.
and for this episode, Logan's lack of empathy would really start to show in future episodes. Following the reception George got after his monologue, he retreated into his shell, and eventually Logan said something that was the final straw.
He is clocked out.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse.
No,
No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. George, I want you over here with me. Chase him down. Go. You find him. George, no, go get him. Go.
Yeah, see, like, it's just that was the straw. And Logan, like, didn't really care.
Get him.
There was a big fallout following the episode, with some people empathizing
Like, Logan didn't even call George back.
with George,
And George says, like, oh yeah, Logan, you're my best friend.
and others thinking that what he did was completely unprofessional.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings.
This is not gonna last.
Just $6.99, enough for two.
In the next episode, George apologized and admitted that walking out was the wrong thing to do. But it turns out that despite Logan telling him to apologize to Bobby, he didn't. And this all came out when Logan appeared on an episode of Bobby's podcast, Tiger Belly.
Never came back, never.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
He apologized.
You see how this setup is? These two, oops, let's put this here. These two are together, sitting next to each other, co-hosts, and the guest is sitting across. Makes sense. Not with Logan, though. I know.
Apologized on the episode.
But again, right, dealing with situations. Does he laugh about it? Is that how he is?
Episode of Impulsive that's coming out tomorrow. He was.
That's interesting.
He was regret.
Never really apologized to me though.
Which
That's interesting.
shocks me because I told him to reach out. I said you should reach out to Bobby.
Bobby insisted on FaceTiming George right there and then.
I want to apologize for my behavior on your podcast. I feel like I was a little.
Bobby Lee, you shut your mouth. I'm apologizing to you. I left you. You were our guest.
Well, I'm gonna.
So sorry.
Thank you.
Please don't
Thank you
even
for saying that.
apologize to me.
But I want to pull back my apology then.
On the same impulsive episode that George apologized for walking out on Bobby, he also confessed to feeling like he's not doing well on the podcast anymore. The Impulsive crew have said themselves that their YouTube comments are the best indicator of audience sentiment, and in recent times there's been a noticeable shift. In the past, George was the golden cast member that seemed to be loved by everyone, while Mike was the one that got almost all the hate in the comments.
It's
People
true.
felt George struck the perfect balance
Look how he used to look, too.
between comedy and seriousness, while also being kind and respectful to guests. They felt he filled the role of the third host perfectly. On the other hand, many felt Mike was extremely self-centered and immature, constantly calling him out for not letting guests finish their sentences or going on and on about his old drug habits. But in recent times, George hasn't been getting as much love as he used to, and while most of the comments about him are still positive, now there are a lot of people saying that he seems uncomfortable, doesn't say much, or outright just isn't funny. Some have even said the podcast would be better off with just Logan and Mike. On the opposite side of the spectrum, viewers seem to love Mike now. He's often referred to as the heart of the podcast, and I think there's a lot of truth in that. His interviewing skills have seriously leveled up, and he seems to connect with guests in a way that George and Logan don't.
There are these songs that culturally, within that tight-knit festival and club community, especially,
absolutely.
people are like, yo, this is a fucking banger that never sees that cultural success. Which of the two do you prefer?
So this is a really good question.
I've been saving it for 36 seconds.
This is in part due to him being older and having a lot more common ground with the guests they have on, but it's also because he's really good at steering the conversation and choosing interesting topics to talk about. Viewers have also picked up on how much Mike looks out for George on the pod, which is
I mean, from what I've been seeing, like, Mike is progressively, you know, doing better. It's just his demeanor when you hear him on the podcast is intimidating, which is fine. I mean, you know, it is what it is. We are talking about Logan Paul getting sued, and then we are talking about this guy named George, who is part of his Logan Paul's podcast, and he is basically being like a third wheel, treated like a third wheel and not as an equal, as a three-man team.
Shown a caring side to him that wasn't really present in the past. All of these changes have been great for Mike, but not so good for George. The truth is that George is far more sensitive than Mike and is not nearly as well equipped to handle negative feedback.
I mean, that's life. You gotta do it.
If he got the amount of hate Mike did in the past, he probably would have crumbled. Although George will never get that amount of backlash, if he continues in this slump, he'll fall out of more and more people's good graces. I'm gonna be honest, as an Impulsive fan, I've watched almost all episodes, watched the ones with the vegan and when Mac was co-host, and been watching when George took over the third seat. But lately, the last few and more, George has fallen into a slump. George was wanting to ask a question. Logan interrupted and said, "Before you go, George, I want to ask this." But then George doesn't go until like 5 minutes after the fact. Low-key, the pod might have grown and blown up to just having Logan and Mike at this point. A third host might not be necessary. I love George, but he's definitely been a statue the last few or more episodes. The following episode, released on December 13th, took the drama with George to another level. In the Bobby Lee episode, it was George versus a guest, whereas in this Boys Only episode, it became George versus Logan. The topic of religion came up, which has happened many times before on the podcast, but this time was different. Logan started attacking George's beliefs in a way that was just uncalled for. He kept referring to how Christianity condemns gay people, and it came across like he was trying to pin that on George, as though he bashes gay people himself.
What makes you think I'm going around condemning people? That's what I want. Because you always put
this one I watched. Logan Paul dissed him. We can watch that.
That on me. You always yell at me about gay people. I never once talk about gay people.
Because you're subscribed to the doctrine that perpetuates that information.
You keep bringing up that I
question.
bash gay people all the time. When have I ever done that?
Bro, that is a staple of your religion, and it's not bashing gay people. It's condemning them for what they like.
George seemed hurt and expressed how poorly Logan treats him when it comes to his religion, but Logan didn't seem to care whatsoever.
I know people that hate me, that treat me better about my faith than you, and you're my best friend. I think you're so...
See, the word best friend, I hate that. Like, if you're truly his best friend, like, you should not be treated like that. Like, period. And he keeps saying, "You're my best friend." Like, that's just not...
So giant with your words, you really don't know what you step on when you say things.
Logan went on to question George's emotional intelligence and suggested he seeks a therapist to work on it. When George defended himself and asked him to provide one example of when he lacked emotional intelligence, Logan brought up when George walked off the Bobby Lee episode.
Sure, here's one. 3 weeks ago when you were sitting in that chair, you stormed off this exact podcast because you were upset about something a comedian said.
No, I was upset that I finally discussed...
Listen, I just answered your question. I'm not looking for rationalization about the thing. I just answered your question.
Everything Logan was saying seemed like it was coming from a place of malice, despite him saying it was coming from a place of...
It is, but he kept saying that after Logan's apology in the next podcast.
love later in the podcast. Many people felt the exchange showed the size of Logan's ego and how much more intelligent he thinks he is compared to those around him. He seems more concerned with being right than the feelings of one of his best friends.
But if you're wrong,
I'm not.
He said that. He said that. I said.
I'm just not.
I said.
This was disappointing to see for many fans of the podcast because Logan's behavior showed he hasn't changed quite as much as they thought. Logan really grossed me out in this episode. He was so disrespectful towards George's beliefs. Completely unacceptable behavior in my opinion. George handled this beautifully and Mike is the best for always calling everyone out. The amount of respect I've lost for Logan is crazy. What's sad about this whole situation is that George is a genuine, kind-hearted guy who's clearly having a rough time. He's regularly sidelined by guests, cut off and interrupted by his own co-host, and often made to feel like he's out of place. Inherently, a lot of this comes down to the podcast arrangement, but some of it just comes down to how he's treated by Logan.
This was edited really well.
With that being said, George still has a set role to fill on the show, and lately he's been struggling to do that. So one way or another, he's got to find his feet again, and I for one hope he does.
See, this, yeah, really well edited. This guy's going places. This guy's really going places. I literally found his channel like a couple days ago, and it kind of blew up. I'm gonna give him a comment. I don't Yeah. Mike is 40 years old? Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, okay. That's not a real thing. Dude, yes, let me show you the impulsive part where
Recording on Zoom? Who's doing?
Mike Tyson.
They did that. Let's see. Addresses the crypto scam. And then I think it was nope. Oh, it's this one.
Be together. Like at the end of the day, bro, I can never prove to you that Jesus Christ exists. I can never do that.
You guys, I've been bullying George. I've been bullying him so hard. I thought this was so funny, bro. In the group chat, he's texting the impulsive group chat, and he's like, guys, I was up all night just shitting my pants. Like it was something in the lunch yesterday. I was up all night. And I texted him, I said, more time to pray.
Bro, dude, me and Logan have this combative like argument about Jesus all the time. And people always come up to me like,
combative, bro. I'm encouraging you to pray.
Bro,
you have extra time, you shit, and might as well.
You are mean to me about my
in.
Lord and Savior. And let me tell you something.
He's my Lord and Savior too.
Well, I know that, but you don't recognize that. And you're mean to me about it. But it's okay, because we walk together hand in hand.
Like, that is so cringe. That is so cringe.
Bro,
why are you guys laughing right now? You weren't laughing before when I talked to you about it, and you weren't laughing before when I talked to you about it.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, Mike literally called them out. I love that.
Because me and him start actually going with it, and I realized I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. I look at it differently now. Instead of like, we texted today about it. Instead of me just being like butthurt about it, I'm like, damn, like this is a good way to talk to somebody who's like super intelligent, needs to have like.
He's not, dude. You're like you totally hype him up, and it like I hate that. Like I hate that you're just being so passive at this point.
Facts and science, so it's like it's a good practice round of like expressing my love. But I'll have everybody know, I don't fucking bring this up. Mike, back me on this. Does he not bring it up more than I do?
I don't think you guys are doing a really good job of adding context to the scenario, or to be quite frank, any of the scenarios that you've lined up today. I think you're a melting pot of stupidity, and I think that you are a bowl of soup that has undercooked chicken.
Like also Logan Paul, like why you're being so disrespectful.
And that's the reason George can't stop shitting his pants. I think you need context to the scenario.
Like look at this.
To be quite frank,
look at this guy.
Any of the scenarios that you've lined up today, I think you're a melting pot of stupidity, and I think that you
was that necessary?
Or a bowl of soup that has undercooked chicken in it, and that's the reason George can't stop shitting his pants. I think you need.
It's not food poisoning, by the way. I got checked. There's a stomach bug going around.
Whatever you say. Okay. Listen, Logan, as George just mentioned, only looks at things that are backed in fact and science, and I understand that. George looks at things that are backed or believes in things that are backed simply by faith and age-old storytelling.
I mean, yes and no. I do. There's a lot of scientific fact that backs the Bible.
Sure. And so what they've gotten into here is a theological rumble. They're in a theological Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? And they have been for like the past couple months. But guess what tonight is, buddy? The annual Impulsive Christmas dinner.
Oh,
event.
cool.
Yeah. All of us get together and celebrate the year that was Impulsive 2022. We get to bring all the production people. Here's the problem.
Guys,
There's
You know what else is money? Us.
It started posing like him, and I was like, "It's okay.
No,
You want to be like your hero."
No. It was the lost Leonardo.
Is that what it was? I just saw pictures of Jesus, and
the
you were like,
picture of Jesus. He did like a cool thing with his like hand, and I wanted to like recreate it for a photo, because I'll be honest with you, bro. Jesus Christ fucks.
"Oh God, bro."
Like,
And people don't think that about him. That guy is fucking dope.
Well, so here's the issue. I told Logan this. We've been going back and forth on this. And a lot of times Logan
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. Go ahead.
A lot of times Logan will look to me and like look at my opinion of a situation, or I'll come in and chime in on a situation. I said to him on this one specifically, you have to be very careful when you mock, or not mock even, but when you become playful with people's religions. Religion is a very, very intimate relationship that people have in their lives. I likened it to basically coming in and saying to someone, "Yo, I think your wife is ugly." Like if you walked into someone's home and said, "Yo, I believe your wife is ugly," that's hand throwing shit.
I know,
right?
but is she ugly?
It doesn't matter. If I walked in and I said, "Yo, your girl's ugly," you would punch me in the face.
But she's not ugly.
That's fine,
would you
but I'm
say that?
saying-
Would you say that? Would you tell somebody that his wife is ugly?
I wouldn't say that. No, I would not go out of my way.
Okay.
But if she was ugly,
and he
then
asked
would
you,
you say-
"Hey, do you think my wife is ugly?"
No, not even that. But would you ever offer it, like without being queried?
No.
Okay, so what I'm saying is this: people have a very intimate relationship. People feel that they've been saved, that their lives have been saved by their gods, by whoever they choose to call their higher power. So you're even just questioning that, especially in the way that you do, which is never very skillful or graceful in any way, is harmful and is destructive.
I
to
disagree.
people.
I disagree. I don't think that we have to condemn homosexuality. I don't think that we have to condemn sex before marriage, or a slew.
So don't condemn it.
I don't know if I can. I just don't know if I can get behind. Like that's silly to me. That seems silly to me. So I think it's a silly practice to engage in, and I think it deserves satire. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, but that's not
subscribe to a doctrine that slams homosexuality. Come on, bro. That's ridiculous.
I mean, again, we've talked about this. First of all, every religion, Muslims, Jewish people, Christians, they all believe.
Well,
that
Georgie, that's the other thing.
Everyone, let him speak.
But that's the other thing.
Let him speak.
You all think you're right, and you think that the Muslims are going to hell, and they think that you're going to hell, and the Jews
I
think
never
that
said that. You can't
you're
put words in my house.
No, in his house.
But you
put
do.
words in his house.
You can't put words in my mouth. I never said that.
Let him speak.
If you believe in Christianity, it's what you think.
I don't think that is the case.
See, I think this is the problem, Logan. You assume so much that you're like you don't know one Bible verse.
What happens to a Muslim when they die, George?
I don't know. God says no one knows who goes to heaven or hell. That's in the Bible.
But they do go to heaven or hell.
Yes.
A Muslim can go to heaven.
Yes.
Can a Jewish person go to heaven?
Again, I don't know who goes to heaven or hell. I am not the guy who decides who's going to heaven or hell.
But doesn't your scripture say something about if you're not subscribed to Christianity?
Oh,
you're basically it's a sin, and you're going to be
you can only
banished?
go through the Father, through the Son. Yeah. So Christianity believe that through Jesus you could be saved, but that doesn't mean
Only
I
through
go
Jesus,
and condemn.
not Allah.
But question: what makes you think I'm going around condemning people? That's what I want to know. Because you always put that on me. You always yell at me about gay people. I never once talk about gay people.
Because you're subscribed to the doctrine that perpetuates that information.
I'm subscribed to love my neighbor.
Not everyone in your religion is.
Yeah, but singling out.
Not fine.
Hold on.
You're sitting in the same boat with some really hateful people.
like,
Let me help for a sec. Hold on, let me help for a sec.
Like Mike is pretty good on this one, to be honest.
Okay.
Singling
Help me
out.
talk.
No, let me jump in from my point of view, please.
Okay.
Singling out specific wrongs in a religion or singling out certain people that subscribe to that religion is an exercise in futility. I could say the same for a ton of atheists that have severe malpractice in their way of thinking. So I think that's I believe that there have been,
the atheists aren't guided by anything other than their own personal beliefs, which, by the way, could be right or could be wrong.
Okay.
And I'll say this again. At the end of the day, I don't know shit.
Okay, so
and I'm
my
not
question
saying
is
one
this.
thing or another. I just am definitely questioning why we have to perpetuate a belief that is fucking silly.
I agree, but you bashing me in front of a group
Mike is like, let me talk.
of people for my beliefs is not right. And you're an atheist, and I'm looking at you like you're wrong.
No, I'm not an atheist.
Well, regardless of
No
where
way.
you're coming from,
what do you describe yourself as?
I guess
I'm
the
gonna be
closest
honest.
thing
I'm
would
gonna be
be
honest.
agnostic. I think I would be agnostic. Like I do identify with a higher being, a spiritual power, what you would call God, what any religion would call God, the universe per se. But I think the pillars of religion have a lot of really beautiful things to them. I just also think it can get dangerous for the wrong people.
So are you on like a personal crusade to fix something?
No.
Because my question
no.
to you is at the end of the day, and I said this specifically, that the parable or the adage that you should live your life by is live and let live.
Yep.
What is it that is so bothersome about George's belief that
I would love to speak about this too. By the way,
we all can. Can I speak as well?
I know, but I keep getting like cut off.
You're not,
and
because
talk-
I'm on your side and I'm trying to
No,
help
I get it,
you,
but I
and
feel like you're
promise you-
speaking for me, and I don't agree with everything.
I'm asking him a question.
I feel like that.
I'm
too,
asking him a question.
I feel like that. Too,
I know, but I'd love to talk because
Can I finish my question, have him answer it, and then you could go uninterrupted for 20 minutes?
Okay.
What is it about that idea of live and let live that is, or not doing that is so difficult to do? Like, why can't George just believe in what he wants to believe in? Someone else can believe in what they want to believe in, and everyone can have their own.
No, they
beliefs.
can, and that's where I always end up. Like I'm not here to try to change anyone's mind, but I'm always here for the conversation because I find it fascinating. And maybe one day I'll get the answers that I'm kind of just curious about. Not seeking, but I'm just curious.
100%.
It really does fascinate me.
I know it does. I was angry with you for a very long time because of this situation, and I'm not trying to like be a dramatic person right now, but
Like the fact that he's like, I've been angry with you for a very long time, and if you're his best friend, dude, don't be passive. Communication. And then you're talking about it on a podcast where everyone's listening?
genuinely, like, I know people that hate me, that treat me better about my faith than you, and you're my best friend. So, like, I get you're wrestling with it, and you like to tackle things head on. And I've told you before, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it peacefully, or we don't even have to talk about it. But if you notice, I never, ever question anybody's beliefs or push them to believe in Jesus. I express my love. And if you express your higher power, I'm all ears. And I will listen to you for days and express, because there's a lot of takeaway I could learn from it. All I'm saying is, I think you're so quick because you believe in something so much that you're determined for me to see it from your point of view. And that's how wars are started.
What do you think I believe in, George? Because it sounds like you have a misconception about what you think I believe.
Buddy, you cannot tell me about misconception, and you keep misquoting the Bible, and you keep putting me into a box that I'm not in. You keep bringing up that I bash gay people all the time. When have I ever done that?
Bro, that is a staple of your religion, and it's not bashing gay people. It's condemning them for
Have
what
you,
they
as,
like.
for,
That's
as George
fucking
Janko, as
ridiculous.
your best friend, have you ever seen me to any straight man or gay man or any type of person ever have ever shown any hatred ever?
No, but you're in the same boat with a large group of people that do.
I believe I'm in the same boat with a lot of hypocrites, and I do agree. I think there's a lot of hypocrites, but you can't paint me out to be like somebody I'm not.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about religion is what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna ask you again.
Yeah.
What do you think I believe?
You?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that you believe in a higher power. I believe that it's not a God. I believe you think it's a force, an energy, and you're trying to put together where our energy goes afterwards, and you're still in the midst of putting that together.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to you. Have I ever bashed that?
No.
Never. I never would. And I believe that your energy is the same of me. But this is the way I want all of us to like be together. Like, At the end of the day, bro, I can never prove to you that Jesus Christ exists. I can never do that. You can never prove that your belief system exists. But what we could do is have like-minded conversations and grow from it. And I want there to be love in the conversation instead of like, because like if we pick on each other and other things, it's totally fine. Like you suck at comedy. I get that. Everybody knows that. All that stuff. But when it comes to religion, you have to tiptoe.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Well, I do with anybody. And by the way, you brought up like Muslims and Jews. Dude, I sit at synagogues and talk to rabbis all the time and pick their brains. I sit with Muslim people. They're most peaceful people. We went to Saudi Arabia.
Right? I want you to say it right now.
Who's right?
Whose God is real?
My God is real in my eyes.
Not Allah.
I don't believe that Allah is real in my eyes.
A lot of Muslims would
Here's the funny thing. He doesn't know. Allah means God. It's just in Arabic. So yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, that was wrong.
Have I ever bashed that?
No.
Never. I never would. And I believe that your energy is the same of me. But this is the way I want all of us to like be together. Like at the end of the day, bro, I can never prove to you that Jesus Christ exists. I can never do that. You can never prove that your belief system exists. But what we could do is have like-minded conversations and grow from it. And I want there to be love in the conversation instead of like, because like if we pick on each other and other things, it's totally fine. Like you suck at comedy. I get that. Everybody knows that. All that stuff. But when it comes to religion, you have to tiptoe.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Well, I do with anybody. And by the way, you brought up like Muslims and Jews. Dude, I sit at synagogues and talk to rabbis all the time and pick their brains. I sit with Muslim people. They're most peaceful people. We went to Saudi Arabia.
Right? I want you to say it right now.
Who's right?
Whose God is real?
My God is real in my eyes.
Not Allah.
I don't believe that Allah is real in my eyes.
A lot of Muslims would disagree with you.
But does that mean I have to disrespect their beliefs? No, absolutely not. Does that mean we can't break bread and hang out and discuss?
No, it doesn't mean that.
So why does it have to be like who's right? I need to know right now. Why can't this just be your life journey and just figure it out yourself?
Live and let live.
You know what I mean?
And
that's where I always land. But
you land on my face with your kicks sometimes with the mean words you say. You don't. I think you're so giant with your words. You really don't know what you step on when you say things. Like really, like, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way or trying to pull at you. I think that you have so much going on in your life and you're so like power driven that you will mow past your friends and family without knowing.
If I say something, I've said it intentionally.
And that
unless I'm drunk. But can you say something? I'm sure you sound pretty specific in your recollection of your memory right now. Can you give an example of
one that really hurt me? Is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus. That one hurt me.
No, I didn't. I said you need a therapist because Jesus isn't quite doing it for you, which is true.
No, you didn't. I won't stand down. No, you didn't.
You think I said you need a therapist because you believe in Jesus? I checked you and I said,
what did you just say to me? And you said, what did I say? And you stumbled. You're like, I don't know. What would I say? And then you fumbled. I'm not backing down from this.
It is common knowledge that you don't interpret reality like reality happens.
Wow.
And you heard that incredibly wrong. You think I said you need a therapist because you believe in Jesus?
What do I need a therapist for then?
Jesus isn't doing it for you. And I believe
what do I need a therapist for?
I don't believe you're as emotionally mature as you could be.
Then what do I need Jesus for? I mean, what do I need a therapist for?
To get you to level up.
In what?
Yourself.
In what category? So when you think George needs a therapist, what category am I falling under?
Emotional intelligence.
Me.
Yes.
I'm not emotionally intelligent. Could you pick a time and frame any day of our life?
Here's one. 3 weeks ago when you were sitting in that chair, you stormed off this exact podcast because you were upset about something a comedian said.
No, I was upset that I finally discussed.
Listen, I just answered your question. I'm not looking for rationalization about the thing. I just answered your question.
Also,
so
you said in the past that you like it when people storm off. So I asked you, if I get upset and I want to storm off, is it cool? And you said, absolutely.
Georgie, you left, bro.
I'm going to jump in on that one. I'm not sure that that's representative of emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
what happens in content is content, bro.
What's
It
up,
could be
Matt?
Entertainment. There's a million things that could happen there.
So should I cite another
I'm
example?
I mean, you can. Yeah, I'm gonna jump in occasionally as a guide here.
You're
As a
clean.
mediator.
Yes.
Also, like these type
Even
of
though you told me
conversations
that I
should be
can't.
behind closed doors.
I don't think every single person on this planet could really benefit from therapy.
I do agree. And what did I say? I said, yeah, I would love that. And I think
it would be
therapy.
great for you. I really do.
No, I agree, but I don't think saying even okay, hypothetically say you truly did in your heart feel like I needed a therapist.
Jeez.
Which I do.
Okay, but that was the first time we ever brought it up. Do you feel like bringing my higher power or something that I fall in love with, to use an example for failing me, to use as leverage for me to get a therapist? Do you think that is something a loving human being would say
I do.
to somebody?
I love you, and I don't think Jesus is evolving you in a way that you could be.
That's fine to say that. Yes,
It's coming from a place of
Can
love.
I-
I want you to be the best person that you could possibly be. If what I've examined and witnessed in your behavior, I don't think the prayer is doing enough. I think actual conversation with a medical professional will help you learn and discover a lot more about yourself that may open up a bit more wavelengths in your brain to become the person that you want to become.
Got you. Now, here's my other question. Did anyone here in this room at all, realistically, know I was going through something?
When?
Mike.
I did.
When the 2 years that I had the hardest years of my life was this past 2 years. Did anybody here know this?
If you didn't tell anyone, how would we know that?
Well, one, I call every one of you guys and check in on you.
We're still here, still discussing George being bashed on by Logan Paul. Logan Paul right now is dissing George regarding his religion. And yeah, no, literally. No, it's
No one checked in on me. Mike, you checked in on me the first time I called you. Yes, I'm going through things. And I will admit, Mike consistently checked in on me afterwards. The only person that was there wasn't family, wasn't friends, wasn't coworkers. It was my Jesus Christ. And he's the one that...
Not even your girl, Belle?
Belle didn't know.
So, Georgie, are you...
I know.
There's some people that can't express,
you
bro.
don't-
Like
you're
can't-
asking for a babysitter. You're 29.
No, I'm
like-
not. I'm just saying you can't knock something that I...
Like, like you have, right, you're not asking for a babysitter, you're asking for a friend. Everyone needs someone.
gone through and helped save me.
I'm not knocking that.
But you
at
don't
all.
know the steps that I took. And there's a lot of people, I believe that the Bible would weigh more than a therapist. And that's my belief. I truly believe that. Because I believe there's a lot more wisdom in the Bible than a human being that's dealing with their own drama could give me pointers on. Do I feel like it's pointless to have a therapist? Absolutely not. That's why I
there's
worked on it.
probably merit in that. And I think I agree with you. I do. Leaving the Bible up for interpretation, which it is, people are going to read it differently, right?
Yeah.
So while it may be really beneficial for you, way more beneficial than a therapist, it might not be for someone else. That one-on-one conversation with another human, a practice that has been proven to work.
Not for everybody.
Not for everyone. You're
Same
right.
as
Correct.
faith doesn't work for everybody.
Correct.
Everybody's going to find a practice that works best for them.
I know, and I know George,
Mike's-
and I
Mike is
know
handling this
very
very
well,
well.
Yeah.
and I know
Jinx.
you could benefit a lot from a therapist.
Okay. And noted. I do feel like, and no disrespect to anybody, I think when it comes to emotional intelligence, I think I'm the smartest one here. When it comes to emotional intelligence. I'm sorry. And I will say this confidently in front of all of you guys.
I'm happily willing to bow out. As
I
of the running for that.
know
So
when
you
it
can
comes
count-
to emotions, I'm the first one to notice things and handle things, and I privately handle things. I've had private conversations with many people here I will not mention.
Emotional-
I've had private conversations with your family members I will never mention.
Emotional intelligence in what vertical, though? That's my question.
Improve your mood with Spectrum. Unpack the best entertainment with Spectrum TV.
I haven't
and get
seen
a
this
fast-
part.
Wait. No,
yeah.
no. Because what you said, I'm sorry, doesn't fucking matter. This isn't like a dick measuring emotional intelligence contest.
No, bro,
about
you
who's
brought it
gonna-
up, but
like, what's the point of saying that?
The point is you brought it up that I needed it for that, and I feel like that is actually my strongest suit in life.
I'm
is
not
my
saying
emotional
you're
intelligence.
emotionally
Did you
unintelligent.
just change your
I'm
screen
saying I think you lack in
profile
that
picture?
vertical from where you could be.
Okay.
Makes sense?
It does. But also, here's another thing, bro. Like, we've been going down this rabbit hole together, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I really do, because I do look at you like my brother, and we're gonna.
I like at this point, like I think George is holding on to something false. Like he's just getting bashed on and bashed on and bashed on, which a friend won't do. Now, if Logan Paul privately apologizes to George, that doesn't need to be publicly announced, which is fine. But because this is being a public conversation, I think it should be publicly announced. Because all we're seeing is a quote-unquote best friend attacking his best friend. I have best friends. And whenever we bash on each other, what's up, Genbu? Whenever we bash on each other, we talk it out respectfully, and we talk about both of our feelings and understand each other. My camera's lopsided, isn't it? And then we make do. But this is overboard. This is like a good 12:46. This is a good hour of bashing.
Bump heads. You're gonna have your beliefs, and I'm gonna have my beliefs.
But I'm here for it. I really want to hear it. So buckle your seatbelts, folks.
I just wrestle to make sure that there's love involved. I have to. Bro, because you got to understand, like, I watched it destroy families. And it's not, religion just didn't destroy families, bro. It destroys countries. It destroys the world.
That's part of his argument.
Exactly. So, but I'm fighting for everybody. And so I really did get hurt when.
See, religion does do that. As you can see, like, if you mix religion with politics, it is the worst combination you could ever do, right? Like, you should see Iran, right, with hijabs, or like Saudi Arabia, which they're being more lenient to Western culture because they just want to follow the norm. But back then, it was just like, you can't enter the country or leave the country without a man. You can't ride in a car. You can't ride a car by yourself. You have to wear abaya, which is like something like a black cultural covering. You don't have to cover the face or cover your hair, but like just like that covers your. It's like a flowy, loose, long sleeve dress kind of thing. But yeah, if you mix religion with politics, it's the worst thing you can do. And of course it's gonna ruin like countries. Of course it is. But then there's also dictatorship, right? Like the Arabs just look so bad. Like we look so incompetent, just like flat out dumb and stupid in the Arab countries, right? Like look at Syria, look at Libya, look at Egypt, Jordan. I hate to say it, but it's happening. The revolt is happening because the king, I'm going to say this as respectfully as possible, the king is stealing money from his country to go buy freaking mansions in multiple countries. He has a lot of property here in California, and the country of Jordan is left starving, is left and the economy is just absolute shit. Why is the Jordanian dinar more expensive than the dollar when the economy is flat out eating shit? Right? We have Lebanon. Lebanon's eating shit. Yemen. Yemen's also eating shit. We have Palestine, which we will fight till the end for. Free Palestine. It's just the Arab countries just don't know how to govern. And it really sucks because it makes us look bad. But for the most part, those countries that I just mentioned, they don't mix religion and politics. But it just makes us look bad because a lot of people tie in with that. And it really, really sucks. Like, it really sucks. And the funny thing is the people who are in charge of these countries are all greedy and money hungry. The only country that still is a royal family is Jordan. Everyone else is elected by and then becoming a dictator per se eventually. So basically we're all fucked. And it kind of sucks. It really does. And I just hate it because like we used to be such a beautiful place to visit. I mean, Jordan is still a beautiful country, and it's one of the, I'm gonna be honest, it's one of the only countries that's probably safer to go to, maybe than Lebanon, than Syria, than even Egypt. Egypt is just, I'm sorry to say, but like, it's gross. Like, it's gross. Like, if you want to go see the pyramids, it's beautiful, right? You gotta hire a tour guide. You gotta hire the right person, so they can show you around, so no one can screw you over. But if you're going by yourself, good luck. Even me as an Arab visiting Egypt, like I still wasn't treated like an Arab. I was still treated like a foreigner. Luckily I had friends that live in Egypt that, you know, that also there's like a parkour community kind of thing. So like we're all treated like equal there. But like everywhere else, it's just like so crowded. Like, you guys, when I was in Egypt, I witnessed a car crash happen right in front of us, okay? And then all of a sudden, both of them come out of the car. They both look at each other, okay? They look at each other and they're like, "You good?" And then the other guy who got hit in the car, he's like, "Yeah, I'm good. Are you good?" And the guy's like, yeah, I'm good. And he's like, "All right, we're peacing out." And that was it. No exchange of insurance, no exchange of ID. If the car is already damaged from other probably car crashes. I was shocked. Absolutely shocked. The funny thing is, in Jordan, the driving is god awful. Okay? God awful. You go to Egypt? Whatever's worse than awful, that's in Egypt. I was like so anxious to go back to Jordan, to go back to their driving, which makes it in my head look 10 times better. Like how people drive in other countries in America, where there's actual laws that are enforced. I was shocked. I know I'm bashing on Egypt so much. It's a beautiful country. There are beautiful people out there, but me personally, I just would not go by myself. Enough said, right? Enough said. I just wouldn't. And for the people who, men, maybe have a better chance. And I'm sorry to say, I really am. But women, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it whatsoever. Not at all. Wait, Sleepo, are you? Wait. Are you a woman? I didn't know. I don't know from your username. Of those countries, how many of them are in their currency? Dude, why didn't your comment pop up? Can you, Matt? Can you repost that? I don't know why it didn't pop up in the chat. Did you delete it? Oh, you're a guy. Okay, cool. Yeah, go for it. Like, go for it. I want you to go. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, so we're still watching this impulsive podcast, but I really had to like talk about that. Oh, you didn't delete it? Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why it didn't pop up, but it popped up on my screen, which was weird. And then I'm trying to see it on here, which is also weird. That's okay though. But yeah, what other, like, I've been to Dubai. Dubai. I'm saying this in English. Dubai is beautiful. Dubai is 100% like man-made island, rich culture vibes. And I don't know. I don't know what is the culture of Dubai. It's definitely becoming a melting pot of many cultures. There's a lot of Indians that live there. that migrate to Dubai because it's not that far. People find a lot of jobs there. You can't live in Dubai unless you have a solid job. Okay, here we go. Of those countries, how many of them are in their current state due to Western meddling? I know the U.S. did a lot that led to Iranian revolution. And there is the Sykes-Picot agreement. The reason why the U.S. meddled with Iran is because I don't know if it's like an oil thing, but it definitely led to their downfall. And the U.S. kind of made Al-Qaeda, by the way. They made those terrorist groups and trained them, if you guys didn't know this, which kind of led to the 9/11, FYI. All planned. Total huge documentary on this. Saudi Arabia are bad guys too. They only want to mitigate, of course, what's best for them. Saudi Arabia is the richest country in the world. Okay? And they recognize Israel as a country. And so do the Emirates. And everybody in that country and their mothers know. And I don't know how many of you guys know about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and you can see how strongly I'm like pouring this out, that everybody and their mother knows that Palestine is the actual country that should be on the map. And for people, yes, exactly, Matt, right, nailed it right on the dot. We still live in an unequal world. Much of this was part of the post-colonial legacy. Yeah, dude. 100%. And the fact that like even the richest Arab countries in the world recognize a country that's not even Arab, that's not like Palestine has so much history. And the problem is we raise the severity of that in Muslim majority countries. Unfortunately, because we got oil, right? And like people are really pushing for electric vehicles. And then Saudi Arabia, they have all the oil, right? They're pushing for that, making it cheaper. But the thing is, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Like I said, the richest country in the world, basically acknowledging that Israel is a country. And for Palestine to have so much history and culture, and to ignore that is like, bro, like, you're really falling into politics right now. Like, you are basically in control. Like, you have all the money in the world. No one can do you no harm. American taxes are going to Israel and ignoring Palestine. And like none of you guys, I mean, not you guys specifically, but no one can fully see that. It's never on the news. People get killed every single day. And like the powerful Arab countries don't even help their fellow neighbors. We're like, I don't know why all the Arabs are all against each other when we all should be one, helping each other in an economy. Religiously too. It goes back to this podcast. Like religiously, you know, whether you're Christian or Jewish or Muslim, we all are supposed to help each other. That's the good in a person's heart. It's so corrupt. Money makes people just corrupt. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you know, when someone dies and like that person like is really rich and people and they're trying to like split the money between like all the family members, some people's true colors come out. People's true colors come out. It's crazy. It's crazy. It sucks. And I went on a rant, but you know, things must be said. Things must be said. But I didn't answer your question, Matt. Of those countries, how many of them are in their current state due to Western meddling? I know the U.S. did a... Okay, so... Western. I think they're all meddled with the Western culture. Um, but it's based on like I think it grew through social media and not really America influencing them. Like social media influenced Western culture. And the fact of the matter is, right, like for example, Qatar, they stood their ground with what they believe in. And for people to fight against what Qatar believes in and they're making them forced to be like-minded of the Western culture, it's kind of like, bro, like you're stepping into my country, you're going to follow my rules. You may not like it, but you got to do it. Hey, Muhsin. See, I'm Christian, but I respect Judaism and Islam for being Abrahamic faiths. We're like spiritual cousins. 100%. Like, we all see it. Like, Muslim, Judaism, and Christianity. They all have the same 3 staples of stories. And it all has the same principles of being a good person. It's just, there's just some things that's taken from interpretations and stories were dealt differently. Each religion has its own age. I was going to say also for Palestine. Yeah. Like, and people, to be honest, I've seen and heard the reviews of Qatar. It was the best World Cup they've ever been to. Qatar is rich. They fucking spoiled every single person in the World Cup. Like, it was a total pleasure, leisure, and I know everyone was spoiled. It was a good time. But I was going to say about Palestine is that what sucks is that Israel, they're making it a Jewish state. One religion country. I have nothing against Judaism. Nothing. But Palestine is a country of all 3 religions that people are not getting. Why do people think that Palestine is only an Arab Muslim country? It's not. It's not. It's a country of all 3 religions, and people just don't get that. And there's no such thing as a country that is based on like a one religious state. There's no such thing. Sure, there's a lot of people. There could be a lot more people who practice that religion, aka America, but you can't say like America is a Christian country. There's just no such thing. Exactly. What's up, Slim Jim? What's up? Exactly. So it's just politics suck and people suck because like and people don't even do their own freaking research, bro. They don't. And it's just like it kind of is annoying because people are always succumbing to like social media news that they don't even sit down and do their freaking research. Like you read something on the news on social media where most people even get their news from. Like, you know when you see a video that's like 3 seconds long and you go, oh, this must be true. No. Of course people cut that video in half to just get that important snippet of a part. You know, it's people suck. People suck. And that's why people like us on this stream need to save the world and change the world. It infuriates me when I hear conversations here try to say that we're a Christian country. Like the Pilgrims literally came here to get away from a church-centered government. Right. Exactly. Sure, yeah, the British came here. Even the Native Americans were here first, for goodness sakes. Like, it's not. I mean, you could say Italy is a Catholic country, maybe. But they don't announce it. Like, there's a lot of churches, absolutely. Right? You can say Jordan and Egypt and Lebanon, and like, yes, we're being honest, the majority of Arabs are Muslim. That's a fact. It's a fact. So the fact that there is a lot more mosques and it is allowed to call for prayer publicly in the open through a megaphone, is allowed because the majority of people in these countries are Muslim. Indonesia, believe it or not, has the most Muslims in one country, more than any other Arab country. Believe it or not. Crazy, right? Very crazy. And it's just like, it's just wild. It's wild stuff. But I went on a tangent here. But let's finish what he's talking about. Because first of all, he said Allah. And I said Allah means God. I'll say it right. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means God in Arabic. So God is God. Okay.
We're joking around here like, yo, yeah, you believe in Christians and they hate gays, and that crushed me because there's a lot of people that I love.
The kind of reminds me when you were in school when I was 5. A prayer before you eat. Yeah. For what? For yeah, we do have a prayer before we eat. Yep, exactly. We do have a prayer before we eat.
That are gay. So when you put me in that box, I'm like, bro, I am the farthest from
I ain't
that.
putting you in any box. You are putting yourself in that box.
No.
Yes, you are.
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? Okay, there's a mass shooting. A white guy does it. Do I look at you and be like, all white people are on the fence to go do a mass shooting? No, I don't put you in that box,
It wasn't my decision
bro.
to be white. So that argument's irrelevant.
Had the same experience, but I went to a Catholic private school. Dude, I went to a Muslim private school. So I grew up innocent for the first, like, not first. No, I was like 12 when I left. Like, I left elementary private school and I went to my first public school. I was so culture shocked because I was in a bubble for 6 years, surrounded by just like my peers who are the same as me. And then when I went to a private school, when I went to a public school, which was 6th grade for the first time, it was kind of weird. Like, you know, middle schoolers are just discovering words, discovering different alleys of the human anatomy, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, like they're, you know, girls are reaching puberty for the first time. Guys are like hitting on girls, and it's just like, whoa, like, where am I? Where am I? Because, you know, in religion, like, you don't really like discuss that, because it's not really something appropriate to discuss. Even like when you're a freaking like 12, 13-year-old, you know, you're supposed to be talking about like, dude, look at the scab on my elbow, bro. You know, kind of like that. You know, that's the topic that I would like to talk about. Like, yeah, man, I fell in the concrete and I scraped it so hard, dude. I was playing basketball, man. You know, that kind of innocence. But a lot of kids were not. And I was blessed to be raised in like a household where it's just like, like for me, like, of enlisting values within myself, I would say. I'm not dissing anybody here, but I'm just saying, like, the topics I would discuss would not be something I talk about with a person in middle school whom I just met. But everybody's family's household is different. I completely understand. My parents never cussed growing up. They sometimes cuss now. We're all in our 20s. But growing up, they did not. And I wasn't really familiar with cuss words until I went to middle school, to be honest. I probably got tricked to saying some cuss words by accident. That's just my story, though. I can't say, all right, I can't speak for everyone, but that's just like my experience growing up in a private school. And I still went to Saturday and Sunday school all the time to learn Arabic and to learn more about my religion. I went to Quran class, as you say it in Arabic, Quran class, to learn some chapters and verses to just memorize, just because we pray 5 times a day. And so when we pray, we have to recite the chapters and verses from the Quran, and kind of helps us with that. But yeah, go back to your point. I just venture off. But yeah, I went to a private school too. I learned to cuss from my older cousins. Have you traveled to a Muslim country before? Yeah, I've been. I think I was like going on a full tangent here, but I've been to Jordan, where my family's from. My family's from Jordan. I've been to Syria. I've been to Egypt. I can't lift this one up. I've been to Dubai. Well, I've been to the Emirates, and I think that's it. I think that's all the Arab countries I've been to so far. Muslim countries, like majority of Muslim countries, I would say. I really want to go to Palestine this year, though. I really do. But yeah, have you been, Muhsin?
I would have said I would have said atheist.
It was your decision to be a
shoots up
Christian.
a school.
Well, no,
Do I
because a
say
lot
that
of people
all
that have different
atheists are
religions
school
are
shooters.
But my point is, I'm not running to label you, bro. I would rather want to sit and understand you and learn from you than judge you and put you in a box.
There's also a lot of denominations that have come around to the idea of homosexuality. I think that stating that
Matt, that's honestly like, it was probably a good decision by your parents. I mean, values are instilled when you're a kid and you grow up to be disciplined. I really think sometimes people think of themselves of being put in a box if you're disciplined, and I completely disagree. I think if you discipline yourself, you are more free mentally because for one thing, you have structure. Humans need structure regardless. If they're free birds, not knowing what the heck they're doing, I want y'all to custom Adult Swim. Dude, listen, I wasn't allowed to watch Adult Swim at all. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch Family Guy. I wasn't allowed to watch any of those, or Bob's Burgers. I wasn't allowed to watch any of that stuff. None of that stuff. South Park, absolutely not. I stuck to Disney Channel. I stuck to Kim Possible and Nickelodeon. Oh, dude, Hey Arnold, my jam. New Zealand? Yeah, I don't know what would be you're just going to have to step foot. I think the country that I would recommend, I would probably say, I'd say Jordan. To be perfectly honest, it's a good medium. Jordanian culture, I'm biased to it, but I love it. The food is fantastic. The culture is fantastic. Everyone is so nice. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I agree. I think everything there is halal. I hope. It's not labeled, but assumably it's halal because everyone there is majority Muslim, and people kill the animals with I can't find words. I need to learn more words in the dictionary. They kill the animals with respect. That's the word. I've always wanted to go to Turkey. Turkey! It's a good country. It's a really good country. It's funny because like that's not on my list because everybody here is going to Turkey, and I'm like, it's kind of me being like, I don't want to go where everyone's going. I don't want to go. Like everyone's going to Japan right now, and I'm like, I set the trend. I'm gonna say it. I set the trend. I didn't though. So no robot chicken. No, I didn't watch Robot Chicken. But I watched Toonami. Like Toonami has all the anime stuff. I think they have I remember they had Code Lyoko. That shit was really good. They had I love Ben 10. I love Ben 10. Ben 10 was amazing. Especially when he did another season when he got older. That was really good. What why am I blanking on everything all of a sudden? Dragon Ball, I think the first time I was introduced was in Toonami. I think the first time I ever was introduced to Naruto, there was a 3-day marathon of back-to-back episodes of Naruto on Cartoon Network. I was living because because whatchamacallit, it was my first time being introduced to anime, and God was like, yo, like, I'm about to open a door for you. Here's 3 days of Naruto. Run with it. Because we didn't have any streaming services back then. Oh, dude, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts I was introduced in 2009, even though it came out in 2002. That was insane. My friend, I remember him so well. His name was Zach. I forgot his last name though, but like we both took Japanese together. I thought it was pretty cool, to be honest. He introduced me to Kingdom Hearts. And I don't know what possessed me to go to Toys R Us to pick the game on the PlayStation 2 and play it. But guys, when I tell you we couldn't skip scenes, that was hell. Because if you lose, you have to rewatch the scene all over again. And especially on the final boss with Ansem, when you have to defeat him 3 freaking times. And then each monologue is about 15 minutes. And then I literally just change inputs, probably watch Justice League, whatever is on. And then like I go back and forth with the inputs to see if he's done talking so I can finally battle him. And then when I finally beat Ansem the 3rd time, it like went to the credits. It was so beautiful, so nice. And then it just went to the end scene, right? Like the end credits. Like, oh, the end. It's Kingdom Hearts. And then I was like, cool. Yeah. Like, and I'm literally sitting there and it's like, is it not going to go to the next scene? Is it not going to save itself? Like, saving the game. And then I was shocked at this point. Like I couldn't save the game because that's it. That's the end of the game. And then I was like, it was a rainy day, I remember. And then I was like, okay, well, let me see what happens if I just turn off the PlayStation, because I couldn't save the game. And it took me hours, days, weeks maybe to finish the game. And then I was like, all right, let me just start it off. Let me just start it off, see what happens. Maybe it saves itself. Maybe it saves itself. I turn it off, turn it back on, and I find myself in the spot where I go through before I defeat the final boss again. When I tell you I was livid, I was pissed, and I'm like, they couldn't even help me save the game before. But like, I've yet to find out that's how it goes. Like you gain all like the quote unquote like power ups already that you don't have to defeat him again. But that was a stressful time. Kingdom Hearts is stress. Kingdom Hearts 1 specifically. My first introduction to anime was Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, and I secretly watched Adult Swim to see it. That wasn't it a season. It was serious. I've never played Kingdom Hearts stories. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play it. So Sleepo, you have to come through to see it. Kill la Kill was really good. I've heard good things about it. I didn't watch it, but I heard good things about it. I want a bit of anime. You watched a bit of anime? The ones I like: Dragon Ball, Lucky Star, and Kill la Kill. Ooh, you should watch My Hero Academia. It's like the most updated version of of action anime. Oh, you know what? I take it back. Jujutsu Kaisen is really good. Really good, actually. I like it's probably number 1 in fighting. Like the amount of money they put into production for the fight scenes. Excuse me. I'll show you right now. We'll just pick a random fight scene. Yeah, I heard JoJo's pretty good too. Oh, okay. Here's the scene. Hopefully, we won't get copyrighted. We just might though. 11 minutes, dude. I just need. Oh, here we go. This is a good one.
Elites. Now that we've made travel so expensive, we have this hotel.
See, this is why I'm thinking about YouTube Premium, because we have shit like this. I'd just like to say that I appreciate the respect shown here in the discussion despite our differences. I just wish that... That's why our Legends community is so good. Imran, good to see you. Everyone, this is Imran. He's literally an OG. He was here since I was on Twitch. Please give him a warm welcome. He hasn't been here in a minute. So, Imran, where you at, bro? Come through more often. Yeah, honestly, guys, very respectful. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Hell to ourselves. How'd you get here?
Kayak. They compared hundreds of travel sites to find a great deal on my flight, car, and
The
hotel.
worst commercial.
Kayak. Search one and done.
I was a little shocked to hear from my roommate that Germany's sex ed begins when they approach the age of 5. Wow. The country's low underage pregnancy rate was frequently attributed to this. Dang. That's crazy. I think Peter? I think we were introduced. We were introduced to it in middle school, and then freshman year. I think it's pretty safe to say that's a pretty good age to pick. Okay, everyone. This is a scene from Jujutsu Kaisen. Fight scenes are very, very well put in this. So this is for Assassination Classroom. Sorry, Matt, I didn't see that. I think I saw the first episode was pretty good. I think this is for Slim Jim. Let me convince you on this. I think I'm going to take out my camera so you can see the... that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Okay, well... Gojo is probably one of my favorites. And because they showed his face after the second episode, unlike Kakashi where they show his face after, 13 years. You've been battling to recover from a stroke you suffered. Oh my god. Imran, I'm so sorry. Don't apologize to me. I was just giving you a hard time, dude. I was just giving you a hard time. You can take all the recovery time you want. No. Please, don't be sorry. Are you kidding me? You're literally putting time to hang out on my stream. I'm never gonna give you hate for that. For not coming. Anyways, Slim Jim, that was the worst video for me to choose, by the way. Oh. Look at that. They detected copyright. Of course. But here's the thing, right? I'm not monetizing, so it doesn't freaking matter. What is this? Okay, well. Okay, I suggest you just look up fights. Because, of course, we love YouTube tagging us for this. But we need to finish this podcast.
That Christianity in general is a homosexuality hating religion is like a blanket statement that does not cover the entirety of the truth.
Well, also it's not true, because if you do not love thy neighbor, and that means gay or straight, then you are not a child of God. That is literally quoted in the Bible.
Yeah, but what about conversion therapy? Like,
what is conversion therapy?
Something your church does, George.
Stop saying my church, bro. I don't know what.
But it's something your church does.
But it's also something
what
that.
Are you
But it's also
about?
something
You
that
don't know what's my church name?
I don't know.
Exactly, bro. You do this
Is
a
it
lot.
a church that practices Christianity?
These are blanket
Is it a church that
statements. These are
practices
blanket
Christianity? Yes or no?
Yes, but the
So
church
the
that
Christian
did that,
church runs conversion therapy.
So does
I think that's Catholics,
so does
bro.
atheists. So do atheists. There's
But
a
also-
lot
also,
of
I think
people.
that's-
Atheist church?
No, it doesn't. It's
I
not.
think it's
What are you talking about?
Conversion therapy is not a church-sponsored exercise. It's a scientific and
I don't have this stat, but I would argue that there is probably a higher concentration of conversion therapy classes or courses, whatever the fuck they are, in Christian churches.
I would like to see the stats to back that.
actually, that's
I would
both of you
bet
guys
that
are
is
completely wrong. There's
because-
religions that will put them to death.
No. Because what I'm saying is, my argument would be that the majority of conversion therapy happens as a result of parental recommendations that are not necessarily backed in religion or anything, besides the fact that the parents don't want their kids to be transitioning into something that they believe they're not, in a gender role. Also, there's so many.
Imran, you are a real one. Don't give me any excuses. Do your thing. How are you feeling now since August? Like, are you fully recovered?
Different factors and so many different situations here. The way things are delivered is a massive thing. Logan, as you said earlier, notoriously, and I've stated this to him, he knows this, has one of the worst deliveries ever when it comes to criticism, when it comes
if Mike is saying this,
to talking about things. He's a big swinging, egotistical cock in arguments. And that's a fact.
Do you want to know why?
if Mike is saying that, all right, I respect Mike now. I respect him.
It's a fact.
Do you want to know why?
No. And Logan's agreeing. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why I'm like that?
Well, let me not
No, but
bash
you bash me. You attack my character. Let me-
No,
I haven't.
No, I said
I haven't.
He's not saying you.
I'm not
did.
bashing
I
anybody.
fucking said it.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, in arguments, you say, you call it yourself. You say, I like to pull out my swords, and you fuck people up. You slash, you dice, you cut.
Yeah,
comes from good. A lot of good comes from it.
Well, listen, it's not always productive for a conversation that has such intellectual variance and so many factors. When you put
This guy, all right, I respect him now.
put someone against the fence, a lot of times it changes their confidence, their understanding. Real conversation that drives productive conversation and productive debate should be comfortable in nature. That takes place in a
If
respectful
something
environment.
that I say
Jim, go
makes
for it,
you
man.
uncomfortable because of the substance of the sentence,
It's not the
that
substance.
is your
It's
fault.
not the substance.
What is
It's
it? The delivery? It doesn't
100%,
matter. It doesn't matter.
Yo,
they say
you should
treat
go
others how
see-
you want to be
you should
treated.
go
If
see
I'm in a
therapy
debate
because
setting, how I want to be
Jesus
treated is
clearly
with
ain't
truth
doing
and
it for you.
rationality.
It's your delivery. Your
Well,
delivery
let him speak.
is.
Let him speak. Because I don't want anybody to get upset here.
While I definitely agree with you,
We've talked about
and you
this
are
a million
right, and
times.
my delivery is
You're
something
very
that
harsh.
very harsh.
Yes.
Treat others how you want to be treated, right? The golden
Yeah, but
rule.
nobody wants
Whoa. What?
to do
I don't
that.
want to be babied, bro.
Wait, I
I don't
thought
want to
you
be
didn't like
babied
that
and
rule.
neither.
No, but some people aren't.
I
even
don't
able
like
to-
it because it turns out it's not true. Everyone wants to be coddled into the truth. Everyone wants to be handheld and walked up the mountain with a buddy instead of climbing it themselves.
But what about what you want?
I don't fuck with that.
What about what you want
Fair
to get
enough.
out of the conversation? Like, and I've had this talk with you a million times. What if the intent is for you
Dude, my face is not with it for this guy.
to get a productive response from the person across from you?
Yeah.
So
Well,
when
no,
you
no, no,
say
no.
so when you say you don't want to be babied, what if you want them to produce the most meaningful and effective argument that they can, so that you can have the best and most productive conversation? And if I tell you that your approach and your delivery is hindering their ability to produce an effective argument, would that change your approach?
In a work environment, absolutely. And I will coddle in a work environment. If I
It's not
need
even
if I
coddling.
need
It's
something
just
from
not-
Kevin
it's
that is
not-
like a serious sticking point, I will gather myself before I have the conversation, take a deep breath, and try to convey the information in a way that it's going to most suit Kevin.
So, but you're not gonna do that to George. Your best friend.
And that's even a new thing for you because that wasn't
Because of
even-
you. No, because of you. Because of you. In a work environment, fine. But if I'm talking about religion with someone who I love, sorry, bro. I love you. So I'm going to be harsh as fuck with you. I ain't holding back anything. I'm bringing out my swords. Same with you, and you know that.
Oh, me and you are fine.
Bro, I love you guys. I love you guys. So I'm gonna attack you two the fucking hardest.
100%.
That's just how I am in my life because I know that veil of love will never go away.
I have a question. I want to read this, because we're speaking about love, and I did not know we were about to talk about this. I swear on everything. But this morning when we were going back and forth, I want to read what we were talking about, and I said, I said I would do anything. I'll dodge in the matrix, and I go anything. Basically, I said I would do anything for you to see God. I would love that. I would love for you to see God when we're going back and forth on it. And I basically talk about how I would get rid of everything that I love for you to see God. And you said, would you even get rid of Belle? And I said, on a serious note,
sorry, bro.
If God came to me and said, the only way that Logan would ever see me is if you suffer a life of loneliness, I said, I would take it. And you said, wow, that is love. And it was the first time I screenshotted that because it was the first time me and you met common ground with love.
What do you mean? I love you, George. Just because I don't believe in what you believe in doesn't mean I don't love
get it.
you.
I get it. But you do like this shit where if you don't agree with it, like we'll be talking about something over here and they'd be like, nah, because you hate gays. And I'm like, what the fuck? Bro, I was like, and I can't tell over text if you're being serious or you're not being serious.
That's another big problem.
So like,
that's another big problem.
What, like
no, is our satire and our conversation because dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. So when you guys started getting into it today in this little scrap in the group chat, which by the way fired up.
Still undergoing rehab with physiotherapy at home. I still can't walk on my own, but getting there. Slowly but steadily. Basically, I have to relearn to do things with my right limbs again. Whew. Imran, I'm praying for you. I'm going to start praying for you. We're all praying for you. Sounds like Logan is taking out his misplaced feelings towards religion on George because he perceives George as a pushover. Yeah, it's kind of like the alpha effect, for sure. Yeah, 100%, 100%, you guys.
Up quite a bit. I think you called him disgusting, which. So I hit up
because I said he was shitting all night. More time to pray.
So I said, guys, I don't know if I can do the podcast. I've been shitting so much, and he goes, extra time for you to pray.
Yeah, that's how.
And I go, you're.
That's funny to me.
Nah,
that's funny,
so
bro.
That's another major problem.
To me, dude, I'm giggling in the car laughing at it. And George said that's disgusting, and it is disgusting. Well, all I said back was ha ha.
And what did I say when we texted by ourselves?
You called me stupid as fuck.
Goodbye, Speed Demon.
No matter what you call your car or why you're letting it go, AutoNation will buy it, get paid on the spot, and you can deposit it the same day. Visit any AutoNation store or AutoNation.com.
AutoNation, guys. AutoNation.com. Not sponsored. Stick to your goals, guys. Stick to your goals. Win prizes.
No, I didn't. I said that. I said I am disgusted of your
lack of disrespect and intelligence.
Yes.
And then I said intelligence. Ha.
You know why? Because I realized he comes after Jesus. I'm coming after his intelligence. It's the two things that we love the most.
But
you love your intelligence more than I love my Jesus.
No, but that's what makes me intelligent. Is I'm not falling for the myth.
No, it's not a myth. Listen, buddy, you know what's a myth? You thinking you're smart. That's a myth. But nobody believes that myth here.
I don't think I'm smart, George.
I think you're an amazingly smart man.
No. You know. I won't say amazing, but I'm smart. I'm objectively smart.
You're a genius. And I think
No. You know that I'm smart. I think you're amazingly smart. No. No. I'm smart.
How you cut it. So,
yes.
I thought that's why that was funny.
Exactly.
You said lack of disrespect. Fine, you're right. I was being disrespectful.
No, not lack of disrespect.
But intelligence? Or lack of respect. I was being disrespectful. But lack of intelligence, that deserves a little ha ha ha. Come on, what are we talking about?
Could you shake my hand and move forward with these conversations with love?
Well, can I By the way, when I texted
you're an amazingly smart man.
No. You know. I won't say amazing, but I'm smart. I'm objectively smart.
You're a genius. And I think
no matter how you cut it. So,
yes.
I thought that's why that was funny.
Exactly.
You said lack of disrespect. Fine, you're right. I was being disrespectful.
No, not lack of disrespect.
But intelligence? Or lack of respect. I was being disrespectful. But lack of intelligence, that deserves a little ha ha ha. Come on, what are we talking about?
Could you shake my hand and move forward with these conversations with love?
Well, can I put it?
But it is all love. It is all love. Your interpretation of my love is not how I'm dishing it out.
No, it's
that was like a diss. Logan Paul, or religion.
You know, and I will admit, half of it is my fault because I'm not like Mike. I can't just like stand up to you and be like, yo, shut the fuck up, blah, 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 blah. Because I love you so much that I'm scared if I get mad at you with this situation, then you'll really hate God. And so I...
يعني بالعربي صراحة زودتها. In English, you overdid it. to be honest.
Get really nervous, so I talk out of love all the time until I want to.
Like, it's all love, bro. It's all love. Sure. For people who deserve it. Like, you talk out of love all the time? Sure. I will talk with respect, but I will not proceed to give you my time of day.
Fucking strangle you and then make you meet God.
I love God,
he
brother.
will meet God.
I love God. Hey.
That's the fastest way.
Have you thought about that?
If you kill him, he will meet God.
Yes, many times.
If you kill him, he'll meet him. Bro.
Yeah. If I was ever going to kill a human being, now this is a joke, but I feel like somebody's gonna take it for real. Like
no one's gonna. No one's.
Bye, Matt. Thanks for coming.
Hey. By the way, when I texted Levin, so this is where things get fucked up.
Jeff Levin?
Yeah, Jeff Levin. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I sent him. I texted him. I said, "Yo,
I'll stream tomorrow."
Oh, he texted me. He said, "Yo, is George serious right now?"
About what?
In the group chat when you guys were like going at it, calling each other names
Oh,
and
no,
shit.
yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, bro." And he said, "Last week, George said to me, Jeff, you're evil. Kanye was right about you." And he said, no, listen. And he said, and this is a really interesting point.
Bro, no, it's not. We were all roasting each other, and I said, you know what? Kanye West was right about you.
Bro, when I roast you, it's just a roast of just roasting it.
No, because then you guys need to know about time and place. Because if we're sitting down having an actual honest, like, listen, if somebody just came up to me and was like, "Hey, my grandpa just died," and you say, "Hey, go fuck your grandpa," that's bad timing. And by the way, you'd be like, "No one would ever do that." Logan did that. And by the way, I had more deaths this year than I've ever experienced in my life. But I know that's how you deal with comedy. You don't see me being like,
trauma.
Bro, it's a joke. I said a joke. Obviously, I love Jews. My superhero, Jesus Christ, is a Jew. If I could be a Jew right now, I would be a Jew.
Did anybody think that Kanye was going to become a Nazi? I feel like that was such a curveball.
That was a curveball.
Because he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he was so chill with like, because he was on the other side where he's like, George Bush does not love black people, and like saying some shit on that side. And for him to just become a Nazi, bro, or just be chilling with Nazis.
I didn't see it coming.
And the way that he said he loved Hitler with that many O's of varying capitalization.
Yeah, I know.
He said, "I love Hitler." Oh no, there's a lot of things that I love.
I knew it wasn't going down the right path when he came out with that album. With like Jesus, it was like Yeezus.
Oh no, careful when you
I
talk
ain't
about
saying
his
she a
music.
gold digger.
No, that's no, and don't finish that line.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
No, but
He's like,
it was
you know
in
what? I'm just gonna start saying a lot of words I'm not supposed to say on the show today. Just finish.
It was like a church thing, and it was like, "Yo, come with us. We're gonna go to church," and I was so excited. So all my friends from Arizona came, and we went. And bro, it wasn't church. It was a concert. And everybody was getting super drunk out there. Like Jesus. And they were drinking. See? But I didn't judge them. I was just like, oh, this isn't for me. And
Yeah,
I
but
walked away.
but bro,
but the Lord
another
supported him.
issue I have is y'all can do whatever you want and then just ask for forgiveness and you're chilling?
Yes.
Yes.
So what?
That
You got a problem with
that one is like if I'll be honest. I'm being honest here. If you kill someone, go an extreme. You can't really be like, well, you can. God can forgive. God can forgive all. Don't get me wrong. But like, if you consciously I don't know, he can. But at the same time, it's like there are. Yeah, just I don't know if everything can be forgiven, if that's what I'm trying to say. You know?
You got a problem with that? No, I'm just kidding.
Come on.
No, actually, that's actually a myth. That's not true.
Oh, what can't be forgiven?
Blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is
Like
the
me-
only.
Oh my God, the one thing you did.
So me saying that Jesus fucks.
Oh my God.
No, because he says anything that is said to the Father will be forgiven. Anything for the Holy Spirit would be not forgiven. It's
Which one is the
No
Holy
one,
Spirit?
no one.
The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit's in all of us.
So I can't say the Holy Spirit fucks?
I wouldn't. I would tread lightly. But also, here's the thing, bro. Like, God's not sitting there wanting you to be judged. He's not looking at you like, I can't wait till you mess up so I could burn you, bro. Like, the Bible isn't anything for you to worship him. It's for you to live a peaceful, better life.
Is it arrogant to assume that God gives a fuck.
Like, at this point, he's pushing buttons. Like, why would you say that and God in the same sentence?
About me or you.
No, I feel like everybody wants to be loved, and to be loved by
Your
somebody who
dad.
created the
Do you
universe.
think it's arrogant to think your dad loves you?
Well, his dad doesn't love him, so
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm just kidding. GP loves you so much, by the way.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
So much.
You know what
Me and him
I-
have the most beautiful conversations. Which
See, I hate that, like, turning point. Like, don't even, like, that's just, like, pinching. Like, we had the most beautiful conversations. Your dad loves you. Like, he might, but, like, don't go there. No, it can't.
which is so astonishing to me because we could get deep, me and him, bro. We'll sit on the phone for an hour or two.
That's odd.
You're on the phone with Logan Paul's dad, bro.
Don't touch the pillow. I was using that. You know what I said to Logan yesterday? And my final note on this whole religious take. If George is wrong, he goes to the same place as you. But if you're wrong,
I'm not.
He said that. He said that. I said,
I'm just not.
I said, but if you are,
No.
on some strange chance, you are going to have to wake up, first of all, burning in hell every day. And I don't even know that you'll be able to sleep because think about it for a second, bro.
But what's burning,
let me,
Mike?
Bro, let me
No, but
fucking-
what's burning?
Everything. Everything. The
No,
walls,
but what? Is it me?
Nope.
It wasn't my energy?
Nope. I don't know.
What is it?
Don't worry about that. But here's the part.
Is it me at this age?
Here's the part.
Is it me at the age I die? When a baby dies, do they go to heaven or hell?
It's innocent. So again, I'm gonna say the same answer. No one knows who goes to heaven or hell but the Father.
Babies go to heaven. Period.
If a baby murdered someone, does the baby go to heaven or hell?
That is a question that will never a scenario that will never happen. So no, that is a false question.
Well, who did he murder? Again, same answer. I don't know who goes to heaven or hell, bro. And nobody does. And anybody who tells you they have the answers to who goes to heaven and hell,
Sway ain't got the answers. I know
Hold on,
that
you
for
got
sure.
time.
but he did. He actually admitted that.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Sway did have the fucking answers. That's what was the fucked up thing about it.
As much as this conversation is uncomfortable, I'm very proud of us. And I'll tell you why. Because nobody else would have the balls to have these type of conversations out there.
Are you uncomfortable?
No, actually, I thought I'd be a lot more uncomfortable. But I'm not uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable at all.
Do you guys want to kiss?
No, it's against my religion. See, I brought it back.
Speaking of good Christians, Danny Strobel is getting married.
My old assistant, Danny.
No way.
Congratulations, Danny. It was so cute. Her husband, fiance now, proposed to her on like.
Okay, now it's just I don't care. Now they switched it up. But damn, that Christian I mind reminds me of a video where a baby gets handed over to hold the baby, just whipped out 9 of them. Slim Jim, I think you need to rephrase that question, or not question, the statement. I would say the statement. Wow, good convo, guys. This was a great stream. But you know what time it is? It's time to say goodbye.
Hey, I'm Kelly, also known as Happy Kelly. My whole thing is being.
Okay. Now, we say our goodbyes. I hope everyone. Oh, you're using the voice thing? Dude, totally okay. Totally okay. I get it. I would be lazy to type too. But I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you before I close. So take your time. Type every word correct. No spelling errors. We're all waiting for you. No pressure. No pressure. Don't laugh while you're typing. You'll lose focus. Don't lose focus. Wait. Before you go, Delphine, what did you make for breakfast? What are you planning to have for breakfast? Bye, Peter. We all have to go. Bye, Imran. Okay. I don't know if Slim Jim is typing or not, but